G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Flashlight Crazy. Today I'm doing a comparison video between three American-made kind of pocket rocket torches. So this one here is the latest Surefire. It's the Surefire EDC2 DFT Turbo, so it's an absolute beast. This one is the Modlite OKW in the multi-mode. So the OKW's been out for bloody yonks, but this is the multi-mode one now, so high-low or high only. So it's pretty cool. And this one here is the Cloud Defensive MCH High Candela, HC High Candela. So they're all fairly similar, but let's see how they stack up against each other. All right, here they are. Now, I'll just put the batteries in. Now, I have a Well Tool battery that I'm putting in the Cloud Defensive. Reason being is that Cloud Defensive, for quite a while now, unfortunately, have been experiencing some issues with flickering. Now, I've bought 4 of their lights, and 3 out of the 4 flickered. So this one didn't flicker. However, I figured out in the other ones that if you use a button top, because they come with a flat top, but if you use a button top, they're less likely to flicker. Now, I'm not a torch bloody expert in terms of the mechanics and the electronics and how they're made, so I don't know what the flickering issue is. I actually spoke to, I won't say who it was because he's well known, but I spoke to somebody who is actually a company owner of a flashlight brand, and he said to me that he seemed to think it was something to do with the retainer ring in the tail cap. Now, he may be right. However, in 2 of the lights that flickered for me in the clouds, Cloud Defensive customer service sent me out brand new tail caps, and the lights still flickered. So unless those tail caps also had an issue with the retainer ring in the tail cap, then I don't know if the gentleman who said that to me is right, or maybe he is right, or maybe he's half right, or whatever. Long story short, when I use a button top 18650 instead of the flat top provided by Cloud, I seem to get better results. So that's why I'm using a button top for this review. All right, great. Okay, so the Modlite also comes with a 18650, which is a button top as well. And let's screw that on. And the Surefire as well comes with a button top 18650. This is a Surefire branded specific for this light 18650. So I don't know if another 18650 would work. It probably would, but if you can see that, it's slightly taller than the other one. So I'm not sure if the other one would work. I'm sure it might, but I just like to stick with what Surefire gives me because I know they like to stick to their own branded stuff. Okay, so why am I doing this review? Well, I wanted to do 3 American-made, pretty high-profile light companies that all kind of claim to make similar styled lights. First and foremost, I would say that these are very similar styled. Not so much in looks. These 2 are more similar in looks, whereas this one is definitely different, the Surefire. But in their performance. So this is the Cloud Defensive MCH dual fuel high candela. Okay, so the high candela has a specific emitter. It could be an XPP, just looking at it there, some sort of Osram, I'm not sure. But this emitter is the high candela emitter. So it has very high candela, meant to go really far. These lights are also very, very high candela. They're, pocket throwers. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this review on these 3. Now, let's start with feel in the hand, shall we? Okay, so the Surefire 18650 dual fuel EDC2 DFT. This guy feels amazing in the hand. And the reason being is this bit here. It's this taper on the body. So what happens is the head is quite long, it's not narrow, but it's long and large, and your pinky finger is the only thing that kind of gets near the head, and it's actually the neck where your pinky finger goes. These 3 fingers here all wrap around this beautifully tapered out body. and then the thumb obviously hits the tail switch. That makes for a phenomenally comfortable light. I mean, this is phenomenally a word. It's very comfortable. So this light is my favorite in terms of comfort in the hand. It just is built for your hand, and you can even squeeze your fingers in to try and make them all fit in this tapered bit here. So just have a look. So the tail cap's a bit thicker, then the body tapers right in. There it is. And then obviously the neck and the head come right out. So this is awesome. Now, another cool thing about this light is that it has a two-way pocket clip. The pocket clip is secured on there. You're not taking that off. Some people might not like that. I think it's great because it's really solid. And it has a unshrouded tail cap. So this tail cap protrudes out, so you're not going to use tail standing or anything like that. But it is designed to be able to access very quickly, okay? So in my opinion, this is the most comfortable to hold. Now, the Modlite, funnily enough, is the least comfortable to hold. And I think that's because the tail cap and the body are the same width, and then the head obviously comes out much more than the body. So it's not uncomfortable. Please don't take what I'm saying as the Modlite is uncomfortable. It's certainly not uncomfortable, but of the three, it is the least comfortable. It's a great light. One of the things I love about the Modlite is that it uses a McClicky switch. So what that means is you can actually, when this switch dies, or if it dies, you can just unscrew it and screw another one back in there. McClicky switches are very, very popular. They're very useful. They're very reliable. In fact, I'll just quickly show you here what it looks like. So for anyone that doesn't know, that is a McClicky switch right there, okay? And so you literally just screw that out and then screw that back in, and there you have it. You've got yourself a new switch if this switch dies, which is cool. That's great. Obviously, you've got a Theorem deep carry pocket clip. It also takes a Theorem switchback as well. So that's a plus for the Modlite and the Cloud because the Surefire cannot take either of those. But just staying on point in terms of comfort in the hand, it's the least comfortable in the hand in my opinion. It is a handful, but you can still lock your hand around it. Don't get me wrong. It just doesn't have that kind of fit like a glove feel that the Surefire does. Now, also to pocket, this thing is quite chunky. So for that reason, you'll notice this one in the pocket more so than these two. But when it comes to reliability, when it comes to, tough ruggedness, I would say the Modlite wins. So, there's a trade-off for all of them. Now, the Cloud feels great in the hand. The only thing I don't really like is the finish. It is a little bit slippery. So, Modlite and so they have all different finishes. Surefire's got this kind of like ruggedy finish. It just feels very, very tough, like, hardened aluminium. Then the Modlite has some crazy finish. I don't know what it is, but this feels tougher than anything. This is on par with like LZ type stuff. And then the Cloud has, this kind of smooth aluminium finish, which honestly I don't like. I feel like it might slip out of your hands in the wet. So it's great for pocketing because it just slides right in and out, but not great for just in your hand. It does feel like what am I trying to say? It is comfortable. It feels nice, but in terms of grippiness, it doesn't feel very grippy. Now, but in the hand, the comfort in the hand, it does feel nice, okay? And that's, again, because of this taper. So the body taper is a big deal when it comes to comfort in the hand, a really big deal. And it just feels brilliant. Now, the Cloud can also take a Theorem deep carry pocket clip or a switchback, same as the Modlite. You just need to take off the tail cap, remove this pocket clip, and then, insert it. It's not that difficult. Now, I know these two utilize potted electronics just in different ways. The Modlite's got the standard potted epoxy, I think it's called. Surefire uses something else, but they are designed to be put on weapons, so I know that their electronics are secured. I don't know what Cloud uses. Again, Cloud does advertise their lights to be able to be mounted on lights, although this is the handheld. So MCH, can't remember what it stands for, but it's a handheld light. It's not a weapon light. They do have designed weapon lights, so maybe this isn't as tough as these two in terms of the electronics. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I don't know. So now let's go just do a quick measurement of them. Obviously, you can see very clearly that the Surefire towers over the other two, and then The Modlite, I think, is a little bit taller. So if we just go here, the Surefire is coming in at 16.5 centimeters tall. Wait, no, it's not. That was the wrong way around. The Surefire is coming in at 15.5 centimeters tall. My mistake. The Modlite is coming in at 13.5 centimeters tall. And the Cloud is coming in at, just under 13.5 centimeters. So probably like 13.2 centimeters. So just a hair difference from the Modlite. And now the other thing that the Cloud offers that these two don't are things called ND protectors. I don't have them on me at the moment, but they're basically little rings that you can screw on, and you can make this tail cap a shrouded tail cap if you want. So you can kind of make it like the Modlite, how the tail cap comes up. It's just these little rings that screw in. I apologize I don't have them, but I've actually reviewed this light several times, so you can see it in all those other reviews. I do prefer it unshrouded because you can just hit the tail cap easier. But yeah, that's the only other thing. All right, so let's talk specs. So the Surefire EDC2 DFT Turbo has a high of 700 lumens and a low of 25 lumens. It has a max candela rating of 100,000, which is enormous, and it has a max distance of 632 meters. Also, you'll get 2.7 hours of runtime on high, which is huge. Now, all the specs I'm reading out are just with the provided 18650s. So I'm not reading out the specs of the CR123s. They do vary, not by much, but they do vary. Now, the Modlite comes in at 680 lumens on high. You'll get that for 75 minutes, and it has a max candela rating of 69,000. And the Cloud Defensive comes in at 1,100 lumens for 75 minutes also, but it has a candela rating of 80,000. Now, guys, this is not a hit piece on the Cloud, but their specs do not add up. I'm sorry, they just don't add up. So 80,000 is the candela rating that Cloud Defensive gives you with this light. 69,000 is the candela rating you get with the Modlite. And you will see very clearly in the night shots that the Modlite beats the Cloud in distance and in clarity of hotspot at a distance. You will also see the Surefire absolutely smash it, because the Surefire's 100,000 candela, I would say, is absolutely accurate. But in terms of the 80,000 candela rating here, I don't believe it. Not for a second. 69,000 and 80,000, and the 69,000 candela looks much better than the 80,000. What, go figure. So that's just that. Okay, so the major difference really there, guys, is not so much lumens. I mean, yeah, okay, 1,100, although I do question if that is actually even coming out the front of this or not. But 2.75 hours on high versus 75 minutes each on high. Incredible. So that is 1.25 hours here and 2.75 hours here. That is more than double the runtime you get on high with the Surefire. Brilliant. And you get better candela and better lumens. I mean, wow. So Surefire, wow, well done. All right, you know what? I've actually rambled enough. Let's go to the night shots, and then we'll come back for some final thoughts, because the night shots will tell it all. Now, one final thing. The Surefire is not programmable. It's high and low. That's what you're stuck with. Simple as that. And simplicity is nice. The Modlite is programmable. This one, the multi-mode, you got to get the multi-mode to have this program. So right now I've got it on high-low, but it can also go to high only. The way you do that is just tap the tail switch and then hold it in when it stops, and it'll just flash, and now it's on high only, okay? And if I want high-low again, just keep tapping, and then it will stop, and then hold it in halfway, and it will flash again and go low. Now it's in high-low, okay? So that's the Modlite, 2 modes only. The Cloud Defensive has 5 modes. It has high only, high-low, low-high, high-low, ultra-low, ultra-low, low-high, okay? The way you program that. So right now, what have I got it on? Low-high, okay? So more of like an EDC style, so low comes on first. If I want to change it, you just tap the tail switch repeatedly, and when it starts moving, it's going to do that. And if I don't want that program, I let it tap twice, let go, half press, 1, 2, 3. Let's let it go to 3. So you just let it ramp all the way up. Now I'm in program 3. What's program 3? Low high. Okay, I'll do another one to show you something else. So, yep. Okay, so let's just go program 1. What's program 1? Maybe just high only. Yeah, okay, so program 1 is high only. That's all you get. All right, so that's the differences between these guys. All great lights in their own right, but I will tell you which one I like the best when we come back for the final thoughts. See you in a sec. All right, first up is the Cloud, and I'm just doing turbo here, or high modes. So there's the Cloud there. Nice distinct circular hotspot. Got a bit of bleeding around the hotspot. Nice spill. Doesn't blow me away though. Mid-range distances it's okay when you get one that doesn't flicker, which I think this one is. I believe this one is one that doesn't flicker. Well, I know it is because it hasn't flickered on me yet, so that's great. But you know, mid-range, mid to half long, and this thing's pretty good. It is pretty good. I do think it's slightly overpriced, but it is what it is. Does the job. All right. So remember this, okay? Remember that. Now, the Modlite. So definitely overpowering the Cloud already. Cleaner spill, cleaner hotspot. Overall cleaner beam. Definitely reaching further. Most definitely reaching further. See the clarity out there is just much clearer with the Modlite. Cleaner hotspot, as I said, more clarity. All right, and this one is expensive as well, but I honestly believe worth it. Okay, now remember this. And the Surefire. Bang. Clear winner, in my opinion. And when I say winner, it doesn't have as nice a hotspot as the Modlite. The Modlite's got a nicer hotspot, but winner in terms of clarity at a distance. Because look at that. But overall, I think the Surefire performs better at a distance, and I think the Modlite has a nicer beam over them all. Surefire and Modlite are equally reliable, although I like the fact that you can change McClickies in the Modlite, whereas with the Surefire you'd have to just buy a whole new tail cap. So I like that. And the reliability of the Surefire and Modlite far supersede the Cloud Defensive. Unfortunately for Cloud, that's just a fact. All right, see ya. All right, so look, depending on where you buy these from, they're all going to be roughly around the $300 US mark. Some a little bit less, some a little bit more, but they're going to be around that, okay? But let's talk performance. So I don't know what you guys saw. You know, it's open for interpretation, in my opinion. But what I saw was the Surefire wins. So that tells me that the 100,000 candela specs are probably correct. 700 lumens, 100,000 candela. This thing is a beast. And the runtime. You can't beat the runtime. But just in terms of the footage, what we saw, I do believe that the Surefire has more clarity at a distance. So hence the higher candela rating. Then the Modlite, I don't know what you guys saw, but I think the Modlite beat the Cloud. So if the Modlite is spec'd to have 69,000 candela and the Cloud is spec'd to have 80,000 candela, but the Modlite is beating the Cloud, is the Modlite 69,000 candela incorrect and it's more than 80,000? Unlikely. Is the 80,000 spec'd candela less than what it actually is? Probably, more likely. So that's what I saw in it. Now, that doesn't mean there's no place for the Cloud Defensive. It really doesn't. It just means lower your expectations, in my opinion. So if you're looking at a Modlite or a Cloud Defensive and you're thinking, oh, 80,000 candela, 1,100 lumens versus 680 lumens and 69,000 candela, well, I'm going to get the Cloud because it's going to perform better. You're probably going to be wrong. So I think the Modlite performs better. So that's that. Now, which one would I pick and why? So I've jumped around a little bit in this particularly. Okay, so I'm not picking the Cloud, but out of these two, I used to pick the Surefire for the runtime, and like the clarity of hotspot was just brilliant, but the runtime. But I've actually kind of moved over to the Modlite now. Reason being is that I love the deep carry theorem clip. I love the fact it can have a switchback as well, and I love the clarity of hotspot on low mode as well. Now I didn't show you that, I apologize, but on low mode, the Modlite has a really great hotspot and beam, to be honest. It's better than all three. So I really like the Modlite low mode, but also on high mode, it does have a nicer hotspot than all three of them, in my opinion. I think reason being is that it's got more of a distinct hotspot, whereas there's a lot of bleeding around the Surefire's hotspot and the Cloud's hotspot for that matter. Whereas the Modlite has a very clear hotspot. It does have some bleeding, but it's just crystal clear, just superb. So my choice is going to be the Modlite, then the Surefire, then the Cloud. Now, I will link all three of these lights in the description below. So I'll just probably link their websites, I guess. Sorry for Aussies trying to buy them. Oh, actually, I can link Aquaterro for Aussies. Okay, so that's where I got these two, aquaterro.com. Is it .au? I don't think it's .au. I think it's just .com. But anyway, if you see Aquaterro in the description, click on it. They won't be on the website, but you can email them and you can ask them to order them in for you, and they will do that. They're awesome, Aquaterro. I've dealt with them heaps. They're really cool. And then I'll just link the Cloud website, and I'll click the Modlite website, and I'll click the Surefire website. Did I say click? I'll link the Surefire website and just click on whatever you want. All right, I've rambled enough. That's it for me. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.